All right. I'm going to get started. Just a little couple housekeeping rules. If you can put yourself on mute until we have like a little question time at the end, that would be amazing. If you have like an urgent question, feel free to raise your hand. I don't mind to like pause and answer that to make it easier for everyone. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I'm so excited to talk about menstrual equity work and community power because I love it. Who am I? Well, my name is Skylar. I am from a really small town in Lancaster, Kentucky, but now I'm living in Louisville. I started out as an artist and then I slowly morphed into a digital and community organizer. I'm really passionate about making Kentucky a better place for everyone, and that's kind of what got me started in this work. And I'm also the founder of Period, Y'all. So first, we're going to talk about what is menstrual equity and kind of some terms around that to get a better understanding. So menstrual equity refers to equal and comprehensive access to menstrual hygiene products and the right to education about reproductive health, which both removes the barriers to care and reduces the stigma around it. When we talk about menstrual equity, another term we often talk about is period poverty, and it describes the struggles of many low income menstruators while trying to afford menstrual products. We can't talk about this work without acknowledging that period poverty disproportionately affects BIPOC communities at a higher rate than others. And really speaking about that and working on dismantling this system that affects the BIPOC community is very important to my work and hopefully to other people who work in menstrual equity work. And we also have to acknowledge that this menstrual equity is desperately needed in prisons, jails, juvenile detention centers, and homeless outreach centers. I think that when we talk about legislation to alleviate period poverty, sometimes these things are left out of the conversation, but it's also equally important to understand that those folks experience this as well. So I found a really cute video that talks more about um, menstrual equity, and I just wanted to share. So to take a little break, you won't have to hear me talk the entire time.
Hi everyone, I'm Mako. And I'm Ada. Welcome to our version.
If everyone could go on mute, that would be
Right. Period
incredible.
edition. So, there's a lot of misunderstanding surrounding the goal and message of the menstrual movement as a whole. We have encountered many people who have a wrong idea of what it is that we do and what we're fighting for. Some of the most common responses to our message and
Trying to
ending period
disable the
poverty and
mic.
period
Sorry,
stigma
y'all.
are we going to have a
If
diarrhea
Dana could
movement
go on
next?
mute, that
Shouldn't
would
you
be
be
great.
focusing on more important things? Well, the ultimate goal of the menstrual movement is gender equality. So in this video, we want to explain how the natural biological process of menstruation
Sorry, y'all.
plays
Technical
into the important
difficulties.
stuff, reaching an equitable society. Let's start at the beginning. There is a deep-seated and strong stigma surrounding menstruation. Now, how does this affect
Hey,
the
Dana, if
conversation
you
of
could
ending
please go
period
on
poverty
mute,
and
that would
striving
be
to build a
amazing. I
more
can't
equitable
hear you from
society
here,
for
and like the
everyone?
audio is
Studies
kind of
show that 68% of the people believe that there is a stigma around menstruation in society today. Therefore, it is difficult for people to conceptualize that menstruation is key when attempting to reach gender equality and equity, and paving the way towards people of all genders having the same opportunities for
Sorry,
economic
y'all.
and social mobility. Leading activists and organizations such as the United Nations explain that in order for our global community to achieve gender equality, we
Dana,
need
if
to
you
meet
can hear
goals
me,
that we can
please
place
go
into
on
four
mute.
distinct categories: equal access to and opportunity in basic education, opportunity in healthcare, opportunity in employment and economic mobility, and representation in politics and decision-making
Try to
positions.
disable the mic.
Addressing periods and advancing the menstrual movement is a key to moving the needle of success in all four of these areas. Now, how do we go about this?
Not
Equal
sure why I
access to
can't
and
disable the
opportunity
mic,
in
so I'm
basic
really
education.
sorry, y'all.
More than 4 in 5 students,
That is 84%.
In the US have either missed class time or know
we're gonna
someone
keep
who
going.
has missed class time because they
Right.
period edition.
So, there's a lot of misunderstanding surrounding the goal and message of the menstrual movement as a whole. We have encountered many people who have a wrong idea of what it is that we do and what we're fighting for. Some of the most common responses to our messaging of ending period poverty and period stigma are we going to have a diarrhea movement next? Shouldn't you be focusing on more important things?
Well, the ultimate goal of the menstrual movement is gender equality. So in this video, we want to explain how the natural biological process of menstruation plays into the important stuff, reaching an equitable society. Let's start at the beginning. There is a deep-seated and strong stigma surrounding menstruation. Now, how does this affect the conversation of ending period poverty and striving to build a more equitable society for everyone? Studies show that 68% of the people believe that there is a stigma around menstruation in society today. Therefore, it is difficult for people to conceptualize that menstruation is key when attempting to reach gender equality and equity, and paving the way towards people of all genders having the same opportunities for economic and social mobility.
Leading activists and organizations such as the United Nations explain that in order for our global community to achieve gender equality, we need to meet goals that we can place into 4 distinct categories: equal access to and opportunity in basic education, opportunity in healthcare, opportunity in employment and economic mobility, and representation in politics and decision-making positions. Addressing periods and advancing the menstrual movement is a key to moving the needle of success in all 4 of these areas.
Now, how do we go about this? Equal access to and opportunity in basic education. More than 4 in 5 students.
That is 84%.
In the US,
All right, y'all. Just want to show that cute little video. They did such a great job with the little drawings and everything. Again, I just wanted to highlight some more period poverty facts to kind of put it into perspective of what folks go through. So globally, it's estimated that 500 million people lack access to menstrual products and hygiene facilities. 1 in 4 teens have missed class due to the lack of access to menstrual products. And 20 states still charge sales tax on menstrual products. And Kentucky is sadly one of those states that do that. But on a positive note, states like Florida and Texas have eliminated sales tax, so there's still hope. And then 64% of women were unable to afford the needed menstrual hygiene supplies. So, how do we shift from understanding that this is something that people experience and it's not great, and it's, not a great feeling to understand that? So, we have to shift into community organizing so we can make a difference, not only for ourselves, but for our community. So, community organizing is the process where people come together to address a common concern, identify shared goals, and take collective action to bring about social change and improve our communities. One aspect of this is grassroots participation. So you involve community members at a local level. Empowerment is a huge component of this. You really want to work with community members who maybe haven't spoke out about their experience before and help build them into community leaders themselves. Collective building, so just forming alliance with diverse stakeholders to amplify their voices is very important. And of course, it wouldn't be community organizing without action. So taking action to address these issues that you see within your community. I found another amazing video to highlight some key components of community organizing and just more about that you all can learn from. All right. Hope that inspired some of you all to get excited about community organizing for yourself. Here's kind of some steps to start organizing in your own community. Um, so really you want to identify needs. So if maybe you are at U of L and you're not from U of L or from Louisville, this is like a great starting point because no one understands the community more than the folks that are in the community themselves. So I think a lot of times maybe outsiders come and want to help change something, but it's very important to start with the community and ask them what they need and how you can help them address their needs. By doing this, you can conduct a survey, you can have community meetings, and really see where they're lacking. My example was menstrual equity health. So, ask them what they need. Do they need products in schools? Do they need a pop-up? What can help them? And then you really want to establish partnerships. And a lot of times there's already people who are doing some sort of work around this. Maybe they have a booth where they give out free food. Maybe they have a hygiene kit set up that they hand out downtown. Maybe you can kind of collaborate with folks who are doing some form of this work and amplify and get a great start for your own projects. And then take action. So organize a fundraiser, have a product drive, do educational workshops, any way that you can to help your community, whether that's from ending the stigma to actually giving products out to folks. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how I've been able to do that with Period Y'all. I founded Period Y'all in 2022. Like I said, Lancaster is a very small town. We do not have many resources. We have a food bank. That's about it. And when I was living in Louisville, I volunteered and now work for Change Today, Change Tomorrow. And they had a program called It's Friday Period, and they would pop up Friday. People could come and get whatever they needed. And it really was an inspiring experience for me to see that you could help folks truly by just giving them products. So I was like, how can I bring anything like this back home? And I partnered with the food pantry in town. They do a box day once a month, and through the box day, around 500 people it's like a drive through. So they'll just drive through and get their box. So the first pop up, it was me, and it was one table of stuff, and I just had this vision. And we served a few folks, but we asked, what do they need? What can help them? And we really found that hygiene products and adult diapers were very needed in our community. Specifically, seniors were not having adequate care that they needed, and the resources are not there to help them at all. So we pivoted a little bit, and we worked with the food pantry, and we hosted drives, and we got adult diapers, hygiene products. And the next pop-up, we had about 2 tables full of stuff from just donations from community members. So I would post a Facebook status like, here's the link to my Amazon, buy this, and it would just ship to me. We had people that would drop off items, and it just really like grew and grew and grew. And we serve over 200 people a month. And we also partnered with the Garrett County High School because their resource officer did not have funding and their programming to purchase the period products. So we didn't want students to go without, and we definitely didn't want this to have to be another burden for resource officers or teachers. So we donate to them every time they need it. They just reach out to us and we drop products off. Our local public library saw what we were doing and wanted to have a bin in the bathroom for anyone to grab anything they might need. So we donate hygiene products and period products that's available at the public library too. And then in 2024, I really thought, like, how can we make a bigger impact on a statewide level? And I wanted to start educating folks about legislation that was happening in Frankfort that we could really work on passing to help alleviate some of the cost and help students throughout the state. And I'll get more to that here in a second. But here, I'm a digital organizer, run social media for a couple of nonprofits. And so I knew that this could be a really great tool to not only educate folks, but get the word out about these bills. So I created a campaign. And here's some of the posts from that. Like, it's time to fund menstrual products for students. I really wanted to hone in that periods aren't political. Everyone gets a period. So, and then of course we have to have some memes. During this session, here is this crazy Larry David instance with Elmo, and I wanted to highlight that and make something funny because we have to laugh. We have to laugh and feel good sometimes when we're trying to do this kind of work. And then I also wanted to highlight another org that's doing this on a university level. They're called Take a Tampon. Commodity, Commodity founded this organization, and she did a really great job and kind of shows the steps of how you see a need from your own experience, and then you translate that into an entire program. And in order to grow a lot of this work, like with the community organizing video you watched, you have to have funding. And she was able to pivot and create an entire nonprofit called Helping Hygiene to get the funding that she needed to continue this work, because it is expensive work to do. And I will include some more information in their social so you can follow along if you want to learn more about what they're doing. They're really great example of how to do this work on a university level. And so here's two more options if community organizing is maybe just like too much for you to take on. I wanted to highlight the policy advocacy work. So that's just lobbying on a grassroots level for legislation that would help students. There were several bills in Frankfurt this session. One would have provided funding for homeless shelters to have products. One would have ended the sales tax on menstrual products and also provide funding for schools to have so they can buy products for their students. And those were two key bills that we helped try to educate folks on. They didn't pass this session, but it's very important to not get discouraged and to remember to keep going. We just got to build power each session, and more folks will know about these bills and talk to their legislators about them. Just a keynote, don't forget to talk to your legislators outside of the session. They're way less busy during that time, and you can have more meaningful conversations about why this type of legislation is important to you. Something else is education and awareness. So really just like talking about your experience of having a period and ending that stigma is huge. And within this, we have to remember to use inclusive language, because more than women have periods. Trans men have periods. Some women don't even have periods. So I'm just saying, folks, I say Kentuckians a lot. Menstruators is another term. Just making sure that you're including everyone in the conversation when we talk about periods, because there's a lot of different aspects to it. And then I also wanted to highlight the climate disasters effects on menstruation. So climate disasters and extreme weather events and displacements are on the rise, but we know that rural and low income areas are hit the hardest when this happens. An aspect of this is access to clean water. It makes it difficult to maintain menstrual hygiene. Oftentimes, folks have to use other items besides designated products, which can be extremely difficult and dangerous, as we know. And the lack of privacy during these events can lead to shame and harm because of the stigma that we have in our society currently. Some steps that we can take to help with this before a climate disaster happens and after is just advocating for menstrual health in disaster preparedness plans. So maybe they have this stockpiled beforehand, including donations of menstrual products for emergency shelters when you are donating to help folks is extremely important. And another aspect is educating about reusable products. is and could be a key component. I know not everyone is comfortable with using those, but it is a great sustainable option and can help cut down with cost as well. So I wanted everyone to kind of get to know each other and do a small a small mock community organizing. So like just introducing ourselves, giving a little short bio, and maybe like a slight passion or interest of you for you that you have. And then maybe after everyone goes, just kind of like figuring out what are these common links that we all have. Maybe it's something that we care about. Maybe it's where we live. And how can we utilize that to make a little organization to address a change that you see within your communities. And then we're going to share out as a group. So I'm going to see about putting you all in little breakout groups. So it's a little easier if there's less people in it to get through this. So we're going to do a little pop-up group for about 10 minutes. And then we'll come back in here and kind of share out what you all learned and what your organization is and what change that you saw within your micro community. All right, y'all. Let's see. I hit pop out. I'm not sure if it worked or not. I'm learning Teams, so I'm very sorry about all of the mishaps throughout this. Well, I'm not seeing how to pop up in Teams. Okay. Well, we're going to go off mute. We'll just stay within our group here, and we're going to have to like quickly go through to get through in 10 minutes, but we won't have to like share out because we're all sharing together. So hold on. Let's see. I might see if I can get some help here. I don't think I can unmute anyone either. So sorry about that. Are you all able to come off mute, or is everyone's mic disabled?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I don't think my camera's not working because last time I used it anyway. Different camera. Okay, there I am. My name is Rachel Howard. I work here at U of L in the Archives and Special Collections. I am a parent of 2 JCPS students, so right now my passion is in this whole busing situation and the buses that were removed for magnet students. My kids both do go to the magnets right down the road from U of L's Belknap campus. So continuing to transport them will be a challenge for me, but I know that they have friends who will be able to return, and that breaks my heart. So yeah, really, that's something that I'm trying to organize around right now, and love talking about it with others.
Thank you. All right, let's see. Who wants to go next? Anybody? Anybody? Ashley, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go. Can you hear me?
Yeah. If you want to, popcorn it to someone after you.
Okay. So my name is Ashley. I am a freshman here at U of L. I'm majoring in neuroscience. I'm originally from New Mexico, so I'm kind of far from home. I don't know what kind of organization, maybe like, because I do know that there are some like Hispanic organizations here already, but probably something more like I don't know because there's already a few of them But probably just like having another safe space, kind of like the Women for Women one. Something similar to that is what I think I'd want to get involved in or like create. Nora, you can go if you want.
Hi, I'm Nora. I'm a freshman here at U of L as well. I'm majoring in nursing right now. I'm from Louisville originally as well. I was thinking for like maybe an organization to like place little baskets of like feminine products around campus. I thought that'd be like a really cool idea. And do I pick someone to go next? Okay, let's see. I guess Mona.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. My name is Mona Branham, and I'm actually the custody and visitation hotline attorney with the Legal Aid Society located in Louisville. However, I live in Lexington. Interest-wise, I have a 1-year-old, so she is my interest. She kind of takes up most of my space and time. Organization-wise, thinking about reproductive justice and menstrual matters, kind of like the same idea of like I was thinking about like when I do go into the office, like do we have it is majority of women. I'm thinking like do we have feminine products, not only for ourselves, but also our clients that come in to the conference rooms because the bathroom connects the conference rooms and the offices. And I'm thinking I'm pretty sure we don't have them for ourselves. So we also probably don't have them for our clients. So thinking about maybe I could bring that up to like my organization and have that just for ourselves and for our clients.
I love that. And I think that sometimes we forget how like that seems small, right? But it's a huge thing for people to be able to have that if they need it. All right. You want to popcorn it?
Who hasn't gone? Because
You're fine. All right. I don't know if anyone else wants to go. We'll give you a second. If you want to interrupt me, go for it. But I'm not going to put everyone on the spot if they don't want to go. So yeah, within just talking to each other, we found a connection. A student wants to maybe think about putting baskets in at U of L, and they already see that the Women's Center has been doing that. So how can you tap into those types of things? It's like getting to know folks within these spaces or any space really. You might find connections that can help you connect to making a difference or creating like a larger plan to make a difference on a bigger scale than just what you can do. And so, sorry I put you on the spot. I know it can be hard to talk, but I'm really a fan of just connecting the dots on how we can make a difference on a bigger scale, but with each other, which is the essence of community organizing. So we have like 13 more minutes or so, I think, or maybe we have a little bit more, but does anyone have any questions? Does anyone want to ask me anything or ask the group anything? All right. Hopefully that means I answered all of the questions that you might have had. No, I'm kidding. Well, we can talk more about, let's see. Yeah. Here is, oops. Hopefully my screen is still sharing. Awesome. I don't know if you've all ever watched Broad City, but it is one of my favorite shows. It's pretty funny, so I wanted to include a little meme there. Thank you. We did it. We got through this, and you all spoke, so I'm so very thankful for you all for doing that. And then they wanted us to include like an evaluation at the end, so I'm going to leave this up here. If you all like want to scan it with your phones, you can kind of do a little review too if you want. But yeah.